So a very good morning to one and all present here. So I welcome our keynote speaker of this program, Dr. Jodi sir, and I request convener of the course, Professor Aswani Kumar, and head of the Department Electrical Engineering, to introduce Dr. Jodi sir to the participants, to the audience. Sir, over to you.
Yeah, Dr. Gupta, thank you very much. Yeah, indeed, it is a pleasure that we have a wonderful speaker today, this morning with us. And indeed, it is a pleasure to me to give his brief introduction to all the participants. I feel highly honored, sir. Heartily welcome you to this program, sir. Dr. Johari is currently working as a principal consultant, Synergy Human Process Consulting. He is a wonderful speaker in the direction where we have arranged this lecture today. He has expertise of authentic leadership, behavioral science, emotional intelligence, personal excellence, interpersonal communication effectiveness, organizational behavior and business communication. Dr. Johari has PhD program in his authentic leadership. He is a certified trainer from internationally renowned Data Carnegie and Associates Incorporation USA. He is a certified trainer on DISC personality assessment tool, everything from John Wiley and Sons Incorporation USA. He is a certified NLP practitioner associated with the American Board of NLP. He is a certified emotional intelligence professional from Qualia Emotions Institute, France. Dr. Johari has more than 20 years of experience, out of which 17 years of exclusive and extensive experience in the field of human resource and behavioral training. He has co-authored a book for MBA curriculum of Rajasthan Technical University with the publication of several research papers in reputed journals. He was former professor of human psychology to the Medical College and a former professor of business communication and human resource with reputed universities. He has delivered classroom and online programs for different levels of executive of India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Burma, Malaysia, Indonesia, and SAARC countries. He is a regular resource person for faculty induction program of UGC, HRDC, and EICT and FDPs. Sir, it is a great honor for all of us that you are today with us this morning to give a wonderful talk in the area of well-beingness. I think all the participants and all of us, all the faculty members will be highly benefited of this talk. Now, I invite Dr. Johari to deliver keynote lecture today. Dr. Johari, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Professor Ashwini. That was very generous of you to read out that very elaborate introduction. I'm
Thank
so
you,
very
sir.
grateful
Thank you so
to you,
much.
so very thankful to you. Well, good morning, dear friends. It's my pleasure, my privilege, and my pride, of course, to be here as a part of this wonderful institution, this august institution, NIT Kurukshetra, to be a part of this extremely forward-looking department of electrical engineering, to be in the august company of intellectual stalwarts like Professor Ashwini Kumar, Dr. Atma Ram Gupta ji, and every one of you. Gives me great pleasure, great honor to be addressing this august gathering on few insights, few thoughts, few discussion points over an area which underlines our entire existence. And that is something we look for in every endeavor that we do, in every activity that we pursue, and that is happiness. All right. Before I start moving forward, dear friends, I'd just like to confirm, am I audible to all? Can you hear me loud and clear? Can you
Yes.
confirm it in the chat box?
Yes, sir, you are very much audible.
Okay.
And
Thank
at the
you.
starting, just I want to tell all the participants, please mute yourself. And at the starting, I will mute all. And after that, only speaker will be in the and whenever there will be need to speak, then with the permission of Dr. Jodi sir, you may speak if it required. So I request everyone to be muted for smooth that progress of this uh, session and for smooth hearing. So all of you are requested to please mute yourself. So thank you. So over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Gupta. Thank you, Rohit. Thank you, Sudhakar, for responding. Uh, can I share my screen? Friends, if you can see my screen, it's there.
Yes, it's perfect, sir. It's perfect.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So I shall keep switching between the screen and the chat box. How do you want this to proceed? How do you want this session to proceed, dear friends? Do you want me doing the entire talking? Do you want you doing the talking? Do you want me and you both collectively doing the talking? How do you want this? And before that, let me ask you another question. Which medium do you want this program to run? Do you want this to be run in totally English language? I understand there are participants from all across India who have joined in. Do you want this to run in a mixed language? I can speak English, I can speak Hindi, I can speak a little bit of Punjabi as well. And of course, I can speak Urdu as well. So predominantly North Indian languages. So how do you want this to run? You can use the chat box. So, okay, both English preferable, English, okay. So you want this to be English is preferable. So there's a lot of inclination towards using English, mix of English and Hindi, okay. Okay, all right, all right, all right. Thank you so much for your inputs, dear friends. So here is what we will do. Uh, we'll use a mix of both because I see there are a lot many of us who are from Northern Belt. At any point of time, you find that whatever I'm trying to convey doesn't reach you, you have not been able to comprehend, please feel free to interrupt, to interject, to ask me to repeat, and I shall be too happy to repeat. I shall keep using a mix. All right? Will that be fine with you? Secondly, friends, this session that we have, this time frame that has been given to us for good fortune, and because all of us are from the teaching community, even I am a teacher, I am from the same community as you are, so all of us are equals for that matter. I would like this to be more, I mean, we will take out more essence from the session if we make it a more interactive. हम इस सेशन का ज्यादा सार निकाल पाएंगे, ज्यादा तात्पर्य अर्थ निकाल पाएंगे, मतलब निकाल पाएंगे अगर हम आपस में बातचीत करेंगे, आपस में इंटरैक्ट करेंगे. So what we will do is I'll keep flinging questions at you, all right, and you will keep flinging answers. You will keep flinging questions and I will keep flinging answers to you. Will that be fine with you? So we shall use the chat box for our interaction. If need be, we can temporarily unmute ourselves and then maybe we can ask, we can engage in a discussion. Will that be fine? Do I have the permission for that? Yes, friends? You can also show me a reaction. I think there is a button towards your right hand side. You can keep showing your emotions by using those buttons. The chat box and emotional reactions are what we will use as interactive measures. Thank you, Tapaswini, Rahul, and Dr. Atmaram, of course. Sudhakar, thanks so much. Great. So coming back to this, sorry, just a minute. I think I forgot to press the share button. Yes, here it is. All right. So friends, how do you think, how do you understand happiness? I have a couple of questions for you. Number one, do you think this topic is relevant in an AICT, FDP, which is hardcore technical oriented? Should we be talking about happiness? Yeah. Should we be talking about happiness? Rahul says yes. Sudhakar says yes. Why? Why should we be talking about happiness at all? Why is it important? Why is it important? Why? What is the significance which has been ascribed to this so much that we make it a point that we initiate a session, an FDP, with a session on happiness? Why is it so very important? It's relevant more towards the behavior. All our works must lead to happiness. When we are satisfied with the work, uh, Meena Kumari, that is an outcome. I'm trying to ask, मैं ये समझने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि हमें happiness के बारे में क्यों बात करनी चाहिए? Why should we be talking about happiness? Why do you think it is important? Secondly, how do you understand happiness? If I ask you to define happiness, what is happiness? सवाल समझ में आया आपको? Happiness the key which will take us forward. Okay, Satyendra? We want to live happily. Yes, Meena, we all want to live happily, but then what is happiness? That is exactly what I'm trying to understand. Happiness is the feeling of completeness. Okay, Rahul, if happiness is the feeling of completeness, then why don't we call it completeness? Why do we call it happiness? You see, the answer to this question will come when we are able to define, when we are able to put a bracket to what is happiness. When we think, when we see happiness in its entire clarity, when we are able to define happiness in its entire clarity, then we'll be able to probe deeper into it. Deepak कहते हैं, enjoying what we have. If enjoyment is happiness, why do we call it happiness? Why don't we call it enjoyment? And secondly, Deepak, when you enjoy, you are happy, how long are you able to carry that happiness? कितनी देर तक वो enjoyment की feeling आपके साथ persist करती है? मेरी बात समझ रहे हैं? Are you trying to understand what I'm trying to convey? Is happiness something which is for a momentary thing, or is happiness something which continues, which is long lasting? And it is exactly these questions. It is exactly these questions which is what we will attempt to answer in this session that we have today. Yeah? Would you like that? Interesting लगेगा आपको? Thank you, Dr. Bharti Darshan. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Ananya. Thank you, Sarika. Thank you so much for your inputs. So, dear friends, I really want that you should be ready with your questions. I really want that we shall keep interacting the way that we have done, like this. And this is how we'll carry it forward. So, let me give you a quote. Let me give you a quote. Okay. happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. Did you understand? Let me repeat again. Shravani, I'll really appreciate if you mute yourself. Shravani, I will really appreciate if you mute yourself, please. Thank you. Thank you. So happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. Harmony means in synchronization. Harmony means in balance. Harmony means continuity. सोचिए, what you think, what you say, and what you do, all three are aligned in one linear fashion. एक रूपता, समरसता. और मेरे जो नॉर्थ इंडिया के पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं उनसे मैं ये भी कहना चाहूंगा कि धर्म की जो परिभाषा हमारे शास्त्रों में बताई गई है उनमें से एक परिभाषा ये भी है कि मन, वचन और कर्म में जब एक रूपता हो जाती है, समरसता हो जाती है, तब उसे धर्म कहते हैं. Imagine that. Our ancients described this in a simple language years back. Please go back, please reflect to your own experiences. When is it that you have felt your heart leap with joy? Those conditions would have adhered to this definition. And when your heart would have beat with anticipation, जब आपको डर लगा होगा, जब आपको तकलीफ हुई होगी, जब आपको एंजाइटी हुई होगी, चिंता हुई होगी, निराशा हुई होगी, वो तब होगा जब आपके विचारों में, वाणी में और कर्म में एक रूपता नहीं. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me? You can showcase your reactions. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you so much. So today thank you, Kapil. Thank you, everyone. Today we'll explore this. Today we'll go, and what I would like to do today with you all is I'll try to present the scientific overview of happiness. I understand this is an august gathering of professors and faculty members who are very, very intellectually advanced. You have a system, you teach students, so you have a storehouse, a wealth of knowledge exists inside you. So I will try to appeal to your logic by giving you scientific data, scientific explanations. I would also like to appeal to something greater, and that is intuition. Intuition. Because where logic fails, intuition gives you the answers. So I will also try to appeal to your intuition. And through these two tactics, I do sincerely hope that we'll be able to, drive some sense out of it. All right. My introduction has already been read out, dear friends, so I won't waste much of the time here. Only thing that I would like to showcase, highlight is that I have been the practitioner of a very specialized system of meditation. It is called heartfulness meditation. Heartfulness meditation is a special meditation in which there is an involvement of something known as pranahuti. Pranahuti is power of transmission of divine energy. And I have been practicing it for the past almost close to 30 years. So when I share with you the aspects of happiness, so whatever insights of intuition that I will be sharing with you are a part of something which I've experienced because of this meditative practices that I have been indulging in for the past 30 years. So friends, let me share with you a screen. And there are two thoughts on this. Please have a look. Now, I'm going to share with you a statement. Please let me know if what I share is agreeable to you, if what you find is true or not. It is said that uh, money and power can buy happiness. Would you agree? If I ask you what gives you happiness, what would your answer be? A majority of the people would answer to these two categories. Would you agree with me when I say this? If you go through, okay, Subhadeep says food, Vishnu says relationship. Okay, you need money to buy food, isn't it? You want to enjoy food in a 5-star hotel, you need to have lots of money. And relationship, of course, no relationship survives without money. And that is why we need money. We need power to influence. And from times immemorial, these two elements have been considered to be the harbingers of happiness. इन दो चीजों को ये माना जाता रहा है कि इन दो चीजों के थ्रू, इन दोनों चीजों से हमें विश्व की संपूर्ण प्रसन्नता प्राप्त हो सकती है. If you go by Bible, the book of Old Testament, I hope there are few members of Christian community here. They will vet what I'm trying to convey to you. In the Old Testament, there is this book of Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes has been a king, powerful, rich king, and his search for happiness drove him to accumulate wealth, knowledge, conquer kingdoms. And when he looks back in his life in his search for happiness and fulfillment, he tried at one point to make a test of pleasure by seeking happiness in his riches. The author tells us about many avenues that he pursued: hard work, learning, good food, drink, but nothing brought satisfaction. Nothing could banish the feeling that life had no more intrinsic worth or purpose than that of an animal. उसको ये लगा उसका जीवन किसी जानवर से बेहतर नहीं है, और ये तब जब उसने सारी सुख संपदा संपत्ति अर्जित कर ली. कभी आप लोगों के साथ ऐसा हुआ है? Have you ever felt the same thing? You have advanced well in your careers. You have worked hard toward achieving the position that you are in. You have worked very hard at securing educational qualifications. Many of you are PhDs. You know how hard you have worked. But today, do you think it has been worthwhile? Do you really feel happy? Or is it an empty, hollow feeling? Don't answer me. Just think. Coming back to Ecclesiastes, from the perspective of Buddha and the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, whose quotations you see on your screen, the author's problem, the Ecclesiastes' problem, is obvious, and that is his pursuit of happiness. Both Buddhism and Stoicism teach that striving for external goods or to make the world conform to your wishes is always something like striving after a wind. हवा के पीछे दौड़ने वाला चीज है. जैसे हवा को हम पकड़ नहीं सकते हैं, ऐसी खुशी के पीछे दौड़ने का, प्रसन्नता के पीछे दौड़ने का जो 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 हमारा तरीका है या जो हम जिस तरह से करते हैं, वो भी बिल्कुल वैसा ही है. जो हमारे ज्ञानी ध्यानी लोग हैं, परंपराएं हैं, जो people like Epictetus. Epictetus, in case you are not aware, he's a very great philosopher. If you type the Google, you will come to know. And of course, Buddhism, yeah, Lord Buddha, he is well known. और वो ये क्या कहते हैं? वो कहते हैं सब happiness can only be found within by breaking attachments to external things. ऐसा ही तो बोलते हैं. This is what we say. You don't expect. You be less than what you want. Earn less. थोड़े में खुशी रहो. Be happy in less. You cultivate an attitude of acceptance. That is what makes you happy. This is what Stoics like Epictetus, religious teachers, like Buddhists, this is what they propagate. Are you with me on this? Yes or no? अरे भाई, आप लोग हैं? Are you there? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, 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 Charan. Yes. But ironically, and here is what I would really like to share with you. Ironically, recent research in psychology suggests a different view. According to them, maybe, शायद एपिक्टेटस और लॉर्ड बुद्धा ने चीजों को कुछ ज्यादा ही कह दिया. They must have taken the things rather too far. Some things are worth striving for. Some things are worth achieving. So happiness comes in part from outside yourselves as well, provided you know where to look. Do I make sense? Do I make sense? What these elder people, what these guides have been teaching us, that happiness is within, happiness is in non-attachment, happiness is in non-possession, happiness is in living in less. Researchers say no. Happiness also lies in possessing something of value, a little bit of attachment, a little bit of possession, a little bit of getting something that contributes to the happiness. And that is what we will explore. That is what we will explore. All right, dear friends. So here I'd like to talk about two things, two concepts, and I shall share with you presently. You see, if you go by the example which I shared earlier about Ecclesiastes, he wasn't just battling the fear of meaninglessness. He was battling the disappointments of success. Disappointment of success. Yes, you heard me correctly. Now that's a kind of paradox. How can success be disappointing? सफलता से निराशा कैसे मिल सकती है? तो मैं थोड़ा सा डिस्कस करना चाहूंगा यहाँ पर, इसलिए I shall stop sharing the screen here and I'd like to discuss it with you. How many of you have worked hard to achieve something? आप में से कितने लोगों ने किसी चीज को हासिल करने के लिए बहुत अधिक परिश्रम, बहुत अधिक मेहनत, बहुत अधिक त्याग किया है? Has there ever been a episode in your life when you have worked hard to achieve something? दोस्तों, मेरी आवाज पहुंच रही है आप तक?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for responding. And भाई, मैं घबरा जाता हूँ, मुझे लगता है कहीं मैं अपने आप से बात कर रहा हूँ, दीवारों से बात कर रहा हूँ. Yes, struggle, Srilata, struggle. Thank you. Thank you for your response. You have struggled, of course. Let me hear it from everyone. Tapaswini says yes, sir. Okay. बस दो ही लोग जगे हुए हैं, बाकी लोग क्या लॉगिन करके बाहर चले गए? Richa says yes, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir. Are you, sir?
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We are here, sir.
Okay. Okay, Ashish. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So you have struggled. You have struggled. जया देवी जी से मैं आग्रह करूंगा कि अपने आप को म्यूट कर लें, प्लीज. I'd like to request Jaya Devi. Okay, हम इन्हें All right. So do you remember what all those who have responded? Raghavendra, Sunny, Rajesh, Rajiv, Zaid, without struggle nothing can be achieved. बिल्कुल आपने बजा फरमाया एकदम Zaid साहब. Without struggle nothing can be achieved. Please go back to your struggle. Go back to your struggle. And go back to the experience of getting what you struggled for. उस अनुभव को दोबारा रिविजिट कीजिए जब आपने स्ट्रगल किया था और जब उस स्ट्रगल का अचीवमेंट आपको मिला. पर जैसे मैं एग्जांपल देता हूं, those of us who are PhDs, they would have struggled a lot to go through the entire process. है कि नहीं? आप लोग समझ सकते हैं कितना कितना ज्यादा क्रूएलिंग, जैसे नींबू को निचोड़ देते हैं बिल्कुल उस तरीके से. और ये यात्रा चलती रहती है, और ये यात्रा 6 महीने साल भर की नहीं होती है, कई सालों की होती है, 4 साल 5 साल और कई बार तो 10-10 साल. Many times you feel as though you are walking into a tunnel with no end, कोई सिरा नहीं दिखता. और जब आपको वो PhD अवार्ड हुई, उस दौरान आपने क्या महसूस किया? मेरा सवाल ध्यान से सुनिएगा दोस्तों. When you were struggling for something, maybe a job, maybe a promotion, maybe a qualification, anything. When you got that, what did you feel? नयन कहते हैं until reaching to the achievement, it seems we short in struggling. तो नयन ये कहना चाह रहे हैं कि जब हमने वो अचीव कर लिया तो ऐसा लगा कि जो हमारी मेहनत थी वो कुछ नहीं थी, थोड़ी थी. यही कहना चाह रहे हैं नयन? We feel divine bliss. Did you, Zaid? सोचिए प्लीज. जब तक आप उस इमोशन से कनेक्ट नहीं करेंगे मेरी बात का जवाब नहीं दे पाएंगे. ये सवाल साधारण नहीं है. दिस इज नॉट अ नॉर्मल क्वेश्चन. प्लीज गो डीपर इनटू इट. व्हाट डिड यू फील व्हेन यू गॉट दैट? पीएचडी का वाइवा जब हुआ था, जब फाइनल वाइवा हुआ और गाइड ने कहा, एक्सटर्नल एग्जामिनर ने कहा ओके फाइन अप्रूव्ड, व्हाट डिड यू फील? जॉब का जब ऑफर लेटर हमारे, not that much happiness what we expected. Deepak, thank you so very much. Thank you so very much, Deepak. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. बहुत खुशी हुई मुझे आपने ये बात कही. कितने सारे लोग दीपक से अग्री करते हैं. और देखिए कितनी मजेदार बात है कि जैद कह रहे हैं उन्हें डिवाइन ब्लिस लगा और दीपक कह रहे हैं नहीं साहब उतनी खुशी नहीं हुई. सोनम एग्री करती हैं, सुबोदीप एग्री करते हैं, सोनम मित्तल एग्री. ओके ओके, इट सीम्स नॉर्मल. तपस्विनी कहती है शॉर्ट टाइम हैप्पीनेस आफ्टर अचीव समथिंग, अगेन स्ट्रगल टू अचीव हायर लेवल. ओह वंडरफुल तपस्विनी, वंडरफुल वंडरफुल. दैट इज एग्जैक्टली. जो अग्रीज, मीना कुमारी अग्रीज. सो इट सीम्स कि ज्यादातर लोगों का जो एक्सपीरियंस है वो यही है कि हम जब तक उस चीज को पाने की मेहनत कर रहे थे, कोशिश कर रहे थे, while the time we were struggling, we felt something, but when we achieved that, it was not happiness that we felt. On the contrary, it was something of a relief that we felt. Relief, yes. Relief, yes. अरे भाई हो गया, okay. But happiness? Nah. Agreed, Meena Kumari. Agreed. Happiness never has a full stop. We go for the next level. But I'm only talking about a specific thing. And this is what I am talking about when I say disappointment of success. It's an important factor in happiness. और देखिए कितनी बड़ी बात है कि हमसे लगातार ये कहा जाता है ऐसा कर लोगे तो खुशी होगी, ऐसा कर लोगे तो वैसा हो जाएगा. बचपन में, you know, when we were children, our elders used to say, teachers and parents used to say, you study hard, you get a good qualification, then you'll be happy. You study hard, you get a good qualification, you get a good job, then you'll be happy. You study hard, get a qualification, get a job, get married, you'll be happy. I ask you, all of you, you who have studied hard, you have had a qualification, I hope all of you are married. Are you happy? The happiness that was promised, has it been given to you? Have you experienced that? Have you experienced that in a continual fashion? Nayan, I beg to disagree. Happiness can be achieved. Satisfaction and happiness are interchangeable at this level. So, and this is, thank you for your inputs, dear friends. Thank you for your inputs. Am I making some sense? Am I talking sense? Do you think there is relevance in what I'm trying to, come up with? The pleasure of getting what you want is fleeting. Fleeting का मतलब होता है जाने वाला, टिकता नहीं है, स्थिर नहीं रहता, निकल जाता है, खो जाता है. You dream about getting a promotion, being accepted into a prestigious school, or finishing a big project. You work every waking hour, imagining how happy you'd be if you could just achieve the goal. Then you succeed. And if you're lucky, you get an hour, maybe a day of euphoria, particularly if your success was unexpected and there was a moment when it was revealed. Most typically, you don't get any euphoria. You don't get that feeling of elation. You see? And there is a biological reason. Happiness is related to I, soul, it's temporary in my option. Thank you, Vivek, for that. That's a very interesting perspective. We'll try to explore that. We'll try to explore that. Okay. Do you know why we are happy? How do we become, or how do we experience happiness? So, biologically speaking, and again, I'm coming from the scientific side, there is a chemical known as dopamine in the brain. I'll share the name in the chat box. So whenever we are happy, we get a rush of dopamine. This is also known as the pleasure neurotransmitter. It's one of the pleasure neurotransmitters. It's a reward. So when the reward centers, you're happy when you get a reward. So when the reward centers in the brain, they get activated, they release this chemical. And there is a lot of research going on how we experience things because of certain chemicals or certain neurotransmitters that get secreted in the brain. So when animals were studied, it was found that whenever they do something that advances their evolutionary interests and moves them ahead in the game of life, they have a greater secretion of dopamine. So anything that moves them ahead in the life. The same way with humans also. People win at the game of life by achieving high status and a good reputation, cultivating friendship, finding the best partner, accumulating resources, and rearing their children to be successful at the same game. हमारे लिए evolutionary goals क्या है? हमारे लिए evolutionary goals ये हैं. Animals के लिए सिर्फ खाना है, और maybe reproduction. हमारे लिए culture भी है. So people have many goals and therefore many sources of pleasure. So ऐसा प्रतीत होता है because we have many goals of pleasure that we would receive an enormous and long-lasting shot of dopamine when we succeed at important goals. But here is the trick. Reinforcement works best when it comes within seconds. When you give it afterward, it loses its effect. बात समझ में आई? मैं बताता हूँ. इंक्रीमेंट है, बोनस है, इंसेंटिव है. जब ड्यू है तब मिले, खुशी देता है. ड्यू होने के 6 महीने बाद मिले, आपको खुशी देता है? डू यू फील हैप्पी? You don't feel happy because the dopamine in your brain doesn't get secreted. This is what I'm trying to say. Those of you who have pets at the home, you are training your dog. So what do? You throw a ball, the dog fetches it, you pet him, or you give him a biscuit, a reward. Try giving him a biscuit as a reward 10 minutes after he has brought the ball back to you. You will find him to be least interested, although you are giving him a reward. And this has been researched by a scientist by the name of Richard Davidson, who brought us the affective style and the approach circuitry in the brain. Something known as the prefrontal cortex. Here in the left hand side, there are centers in the brain, and he spoke about two types of positive effect. First, he calls the pre-goal attainment, which is the pleasurable feeling you get as you make progress towards a goal. And the second one is called post-goal attainment positive effect, which Davidson says arises only once you have achieved something you want. So understand what I'm talking about. Your prefrontal cortex is activated before you achieve the goal and after you achieve the goal. So before, when you achieve, there is an active secretion of dopamine, but after, when you have achieved, it is a short-lived feeling of release, because the activity of the left prefrontal cortex is reduced after a goal has been achieved. Imagine that. Imagine that. इसलिए हैप्पीनेस दो चीजें से निकल कर आती हैं. एक तो हैप्पीनेस इज अ कंटिन्यूअस जर्नी. You never get satisfied. Somebody mentioned this. Sudhakar, trying towards that. Yes. So those of us who view happiness as a destination, हम में से जो लोग ये सोचते हैं कि happiness एक गंतव्य है, happiness एक finality है, I don't say that would be a very wise description. Happiness is a journey, continuous journey. That is number one. And number two, during the journey, you will keep experiencing the release of dopamine. So you keep getting that happiness. So you are happy during the journey, not when you have reached it. And that is scientifically proven now. ये बात समझ में आ रही है? It is the journey that is enjoyable. और ये philosophy की बात नहीं है, ये proven fact. During the journey, the secretion of the chemical keeps happening. Once the journey is completed, the secretion gets stopped. Does it make sense? Does it make sense to you? Yes, indeed, Zed. We must be thankful to God. Of course, there is no denying that. There is no denying that. And for this discussion, Zed, we are not bringing God in between. We are just talking purely from the scientific sense. Of course, we will refer to God sometime later in the discussion. Right now, friends, how many of you are with me till now? How many of you think that whatever I have said makes sense? Can you relate that to your life? Can you relate to your own personal experience? Thank you, Sudhakar, Sonam, Vipul. Thank you. This is known as, and I shall now share my screen. The progress principle. I call this the progress principle. And the progress principle is pleasure comes from making progress towards goal than from achieving them. So each and every day, if you make a progress towards your goal, that moving towards the goal will make you happy, not the goal itself. And Shakespeare captured it beautifully. Things won are done. joy the soul lies in the doing. Okay. Second thing that principle that I like to talk about is known as the adaptation principle. Okay, let me give you a task. Can I give you a task? Name the very best and the worst things that could ever happen to you or that have happened to you. Don't tell me, just think the best and the worst things. The best thing and the worst thing that could have happened, that has happened. Okay. And how long have they affected you? How long have you been affected by them? This is something you can answer. I will not go into the details of what were those incidents. I will only like to inquire, how long were you affected by them? Any responses? Almost 2 years for me. Okay, thank you, Sudhakar. And after 2 years, what happened? Things started getting normal. You started being back to as normal can be. Yes. Okay. All right. So normally, I'm assuming 1 to 2 months. Thank you, Deepak. So if hypothetically speaking, two things which have affected, one good, one the best thing or the worst thing. The best thing would be if you were to ask me that I win a lottery, I win KBC, 5 crores. That is the best thing that can happen, isn't it? And there have been people who have won the jackpot. So what happens? Does their life change? Do they remain happy throughout their lives? Do they keep riding that wave of euphoria? What has been your observation? The worst thing that can happen is somebody gets contracted by a disease. You know, it doesn't happen in India that much as it happens in the West. This lottery. So there, people win billions of rupees. They hit a jackpot, and suddenly they find they are very rich. You have stories coming from. Suddenly, you have people. You know, have you heard of Chris Reeves, the man who played Superman some time back? He met with a skiing accident, and what happened? He became a quadriplegic. No, none of the limbs working. Same case happened with Michael Schumacher, the legendary sports person, Formula One champion, 10 times champion of the world, meets with an accident, and all that wonderful physique gone down the drain. And here is what I'm trying to, tell you. Whether it is an episode of extreme happiness or it is an episode of extreme misfortune, people get affected, yes. But after a while, they revert back to their set bracket of happiness. बात समझ में आ रही है ये चीज? बात जो मैं कहना चाह रहा हूँ, what I'm trying to say is there is a set bandwidth of happiness that all of us exist in. When something good, something extremely good happens unexpectedly, we become elated, but after some time, we go back to existing in that bracket. And God forbid, if some great misfortune strikes us, we do get affected, but after a while, we elevate our happiness and again go back to that same bracket. That is known as the baseline levels of happiness. And this is known as adaptation. And I'll tell you again, there is a principle behind that. You know, in the morning, when you get ready, you wear your clothes, you put on a shirt, you feel the sensation of the shirt on your shoulders, don't you? Or when you sit in sessions like this or anywhere, when you sit on the chair, you feel the touch of the chair on your body, on the skin of your body, don't you? You put your hands on the table, you feel the touch of the table on your body, on your hands. Yes or no? But after a while, do you remain conscious of these physical sensations? Do you remain conscious of the fact that the fabric is touching the skin of your body? Fabric of the shirt that you are wearing is touching the skin of your body. Now that I've asked you, your attention is again diverted. Otherwise, till this time, you were unaware. Yes or no? Raghavan, this no is because you are agreeing with me, you're disagreeing with me.
Sir, I'm agreeing with you. Once we interacted
Okay.
in the session, we are going to concentrate on you rather
Yep.
than concentrating on our clothes or the chair what we are on which we are sat.
Thank you, Raghavan, for that. And it is not just interacting, Raghavan. Even if you are not connected with me mentally, intellectually, even then you will not feel the sensation of the shirt fabric touching your body. You won't. And this is why this is known as adaptation. It is a phenomena of the nervous system. I'll give you another example. You are fond of sweets, all of you. I hope there are no diabetics out here. So let's say you have a piece of sweet. The northerners, they have a piece of gulab jamun, and the southerners, they have, let us say, Mysore pak. And then you have a cup of tea, sweet tea. Do you feel the taste of sugar? You cannot. You won't feel the sweetness in the tea. Why? Because you have already had something sweeter earlier. The reason is that your neurons have become adapted. So what I'm trying to tell you is the human mind is extraordinarily sensitive to changes in condition, but not so sensitive to absolute levels. You see, it becomes adapted. It becomes adapted to the circumstances. The winner's pleasure comes from rising in wealth, not from standing still at a high level. So when the wealth has risen, the happiness has risen, and when he comes to a level, it the happiness doesn't go beyond that. Why? Because it has already been adapted. And after a few months, the new comfort levels have become the new baseline of the daily life. The winner takes them for granted and has no way to rise further. That is why boredom happens. That is why boredom happens. You buy a new set of mobile. For the first week, you are totally inseparable. After 10 days, well, it's just any other phone. Adaptation principle. That is the principle of adaptation. You all know the physicist Stephen Hawking. He suffered from a rare motor neuron disease. He also was the most brilliant person in his generation. So during one of his interviews, when he was asked about his physical condition, he says, "My expectations were reduced to zero when I was 21. Everything since then has been a bonus." So people's judgment about their present state are based on whether it is better or worse than the state to which they have been accustomed. And human beings have taken adaptation to cognitive extremes. We don't just habituate, we recalibrate. We create for ourselves a world of targets, and each time we hit one, we replace it with another. After a string of successes, we aim higher. After a massive setback, we aim lower. So instead of following Buddhism and the Stoic philosophers' advice to surrender attachment and let events happen, we surround ourselves with goals, hopes, and expectation, and then feel pleasure and pain in relation to our progress. Yes or no? And this, uh, this phenomena of deciding the average level of happiness is something that is hereditary. We get from our parents. So what I'm trying to say is good fortune or bad fortune, we always return to our happiness set point, your brain's default level of happiness, something which is determined largely by your genes. And this is something which was observed as early as 1759 when Adam Smith reached the same conclusion. That is, in every permanent situation, there is no expectation of change. The mind of every man in a longer or shorter time returns to its natural and usual state of tranquility. In its prosperity, after a certain time, it falls back. And in adversity, after a certain time, it rises up. And this is something which the experts have, describe it in terms of the hedonic treadmill. Treadmill hota hai, we work, no matter how hard you work, you keep being in the same space, in the same position. एक ही जगह रहते, you don't move forward. So what are your thoughts at this point of time? Are you with me? Enough speaking from my side. I'd like to ask you a question. Why is it so difficult to be happy? First of all, do you agree with this statement? It is difficult to be happy. So I'll stop sharing the screen. I'll go to your chat box. Let me see. What are your thoughts on this?
Hello, sir.
Why is it so difficult? We expect so much.
Hello,
What is
sir.
wrong with expecting, Harshit? Yes, hello. Who's this?
Sir,
Please identify.
this is Sarika from NIT. Sir, nobody
Yes, Sarika.
can be happy actually if the surroundings around are not happy. So, according to me, the first task, if we want us to be happy, is to make our surroundings happy.
Very well
Now,
said,
from our
Sarika.
inside, we can be happy, but if the surroundings are not, then again we go down.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sarika, for saying that. And it's very, very valid. Now, I have a question for you, Sarika. So you say that we cannot make our surroundings happy. We can never be happy. But can we impact our surroundings?
Yeah, true. Definitely, we can impact our surroundings by our work, by our attitude. But you'll have to throw away everything bad in your mind. Then only you could impact the surroundings.
Is it really possible? How has that worked for you?
Very,
Anybody?
very difficult.
Anybody in the group? How has that worked for you? And what Sarika says is absolutely correct. You change the surroundings, you to happiness, and you become happy. It's a very important component. But how has changing the surroundings worked for you? Yes, Zaid, how has that worked for you, imparting the energy level? करा है, ये करके देखा है आपने, और क्या अनुभव रहा है आप लोगों का? मैं आप सबसे पूछना चाह रहा हूँ। और हम किताबी बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम प्रैक्टिकल बात कर रहे हैं। प्रैक्टिकल बात कर रहे हैं, जो हुआ है आपके साथ, जो आपके अनुभव में, और आप सब लोग अनुभव वाले व्यक्ति हैं।
It happens, sir. It is possible. It is very much possible, though difficult, but it is possible. If you keep your grudges to yourself, and at least do not show it to your surroundings, it will really help.
Yeah, theoretically.
Very
but
difficult. Very difficult.
But Yes, please. Somebody is saying something.
Yes,
Haji.
sir. Sir, from HIT West Bengal. So actually, sir, there are
Yeah.
some people who find happiness in themselves only, and there are some people who find happiness from the others. So that is two different
Hmm.
perspective. I think that is there. Means practically that is existing.
Hmm.
Some people they find
So
happiness in themselves only.
people who find happiness in themselves, uh, would you call them self-centered people? Because all they are concerned
Yes,
is
sir.
finding happiness in themselves only. So
Yes,
what's
sir.
the
Yes, sir.
point in finding a happiness which isolates you from the rest of the world? What is the point? Can that be a complete happiness?
No, not at
I'm
all, sir.
asking a question.
Not at all, sir. But
So
that
that would not be a, yeah,
yes, sir. But this kind of people exist.
yes, indeed. All types of people exist, man. All types of people exist. So I'm just trying to, uh, understand from you all, why is it so difficult to be happy? That was my basic question. Friends, those of us who can switch on their videos, it would be nice to see your faces, have a look at your faces. If you're comfortable, please do switch on your videos. Otherwise, I feel like I'm talking to an empty screen. Those of you who are comfortable. Good. Thank you,
Yeah.
madam.
This is Sarika, sir.
Okay. Great to see you. Which location you are dialing in from, Sarika?
NIT Kurukshetra, sir. Same
NIT
institute.
Kurukshetra. Same institute. Wonderful. Wonderful. So, yes, friends, coming back. Why is it so difficult? Have you ever thought about it? No matter what we do, no matter what we think, no matter how much efforts we do. और ये कहानी हम सब की है. धर्म पत्नियां हैं जो प्रसन्न नहीं होती, सासू माएं हैं जो खुश नहीं होती, रिश्तेदार हैं जो खुश नहीं होते, हम अपने आप से खुश नहीं होते.
Sir, I
कश्मीर
have
से
one
लेकर
point.
कन्या. Yes,
I
yes,
have
please.
one point to say. Like, if somebody or someone is not happy with themselves, then how he will be or she will be make others happy. So first, changes need to come
Yes.
themselves. Then only we can
Yeah.
reflect those in the environment also. And individually, if everyone is happy internally, then automatically the society and the everything going to be happy. First, we need to see ourselves.
Wonderful.
First, we need to find the inner peace of us. Like inner, if I'm happy within myself, then I don't need anybody to make me happy. So first,
Absolutely.
I make myself happy, then I will make automatically everyone's happy, which I feel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. May I know your name, please, madam?
Yeah, my name is Sonam Mittal.
Okay, wonderful. So that is where the basic question lies. I need to change myself. That is what you said. I need to make myself happy. That is what you said. Wonderfully said. How do you do that?
By making my expectations lower, by making like, if scientifically speaking, so by doing some meditation and and find peace within myself, and there is so much like first and foremost is lower the expectations, and don't expect anyone from anything and anyone from anyone. Yes, the basic fundamental, and do your own work will dedication with remain gratitude and thanks to God. These are the things like what would I say? These are the things
Okay.
which, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Sonam, for that. And I'd like to ask the group a question. How much of this has worked for you all? किसी का कुछ experience है?
Again, the same,
ऐसा.
sir. This is
ये
what
expectation. Sarika, just a minute. Expectation कम कर दी, meditation कर लिया, अपना काम से काम रखा. ये संभव हो पाया कभी? कितने लोगों के साथ हो पाया? और मैं ब्लेम नहीं कर रहा, मैं आप पर आक्षेप नहीं लगा रहा, प्लीज. मैं आपकी सराहना करता हूं, ये बहुत बड़ी बात है. लेकिन जीवन में हम रहें सामाजिक दायरे में और एक्सपेक्टेशन ना हो, ये कैसे संभव है?
So that's
How
why
is it
I'm saying
possible?
that it's a very ideal situation. It's very ideal. Like nobody.
तो इसका तो मतलब ये हुआ कि the pursuit of happiness that we are talking about or we are aspiring to is a futile exercise. We can never be happy.
Yeah, but
क्योंकि
yes,
It's a catch-22 situation, yes, isn't it?
Yeah, sir. Yes, absolutely agree.
बताइए, तो फिर मैडम मेरे सेशन के कोई सिग्निफिकेंस ही नहीं है, ये तो खामखा की बात हो गई, बताइए.
No, sir. No, I didn't mean that.
No. I know you didn't mean that, Sonam. I know you didn't mean that. And I will also like to share with you that this is the dilemma which is faced by almost all of us. Almost all of us. You put your regular struggles aside for a while. All of us are desperately trying to find out, God, what is it that will make me and my people around happy? That is one single search. People don't search money, people don't search satisfaction, people don't search any of the riches. All they want is to be happy. That is the basic need. That is where I'm coming from. So I'll try to answer this question which I posed before you. And thank you for your inputs, dear friends. Thank you so much for your responses on the chat box. To understand this question, let us take a journey back in time. You know, we experience the world around us through our mind or through our brain. You understand the relation between mind and brain. Brain is the hardware, mind is the software. Mind is where the thoughts get manifested. Brain is the physical organ that is there, right? Now, this mind or this brain that you see, it has an amazing ability to analyze, plan, create, and communicate. As a matter of fact, the human brain is the most advanced machine ever to have been created in this entire God's creation. It's the most advanced machine. It's a super computer. And it is just an input output mechanism. What it does, it takes in information from the environment, processes it, and gives an output. The output which comes in the form of our actions and our thoughts. But this brain that has been given to us, this mind that has been given to us, is not an overnight development. It has evolved from the last 100,000 years since our species first appeared on the planet. But the function of the mind was not to make us feel good. Understand this. मन का, दिमाग का उद्देश्य हमें खुश रखना नहीं था. It did not evolve us to make us feel good. It did not evolve. Its purpose was not so that we will be able to tell jokes, we would be able to teach, write songs, act in the movies, or say good things about others. Our mind evolved to help us survive in a world which was full of danger. Imagine this conversation that we are having. If we are, if we are having this conversation 1 million years before, 1 लाख साल पहले ये कॉन्वर्सेशन अगर हम कर रहे हैं, तो हमारी नीड क्या होगी? हमारी नीड तब ये वेबएक्स प्लेटफॉर्म और इंटरनेट की नहीं होगी. हमारी नीड होगी फूड, शेल्टर, क्लोथिंग. सर्वाइवल के लिए दो ही चीजें, फीडिंग एंड रिप्रोडक्शन, सो दैट द स्पीशीज गेट्स secure. Species gets propagated. That is how we multiply our species, so that we remain relevant. तो ये दो function basic हैं across all species, and that is what the mind was trained. So the mind was trained to protect ourselves, and it can protect ourselves by doing away with the threats. The number one priority of the primitive human mind was to look out for anything that might harm you and avoid it. समझ रहे? तो एजेंडा क्या था? प्रिमिटिव माइंड का एजेंडा था, इट वाज मोर ऑफ अ डोंट गेट किल्ड डिवाइस, and it proved enormously useful. The better our ancestors became at anticipating and avoiding danger, the longer they lived and the more children they had. And again, for the purpose of increasing the species, ensuring that the species survived. But what now? After 100,000 years of evolution, the modern mind is still programmed to look out for trouble. It assesses and judges almost everything that we encounter. Is this good or bad? Is this safe or dangerous? Is it harmful or helpful? जब ये एफडीपी का नोटिफिकेशन आपके पास आया तो पहला सवाल क्या था? पहला सवाल यही था ना यार, अगर मैं इसका सर्टिफिकेट लेता हूं तो मेरे प्रमोशन में काम आएगा कि नहीं आएगा? बताइए, is it helpful or harmful? This is what your brain channelized. These days, it is not the animals that are attacking us. These days, it's the fear. What is the mind warning us about? हमारा मन आज क्या हमें किस खतरे की, किसकी बारे में चेतावनी दे रहा है? The fear of losing our jobs. Yeah? May not be a case with people who are serving in government institutions, but with people who are serving in private institutions, it's a big, big issue these days. Because of the corona, admissions are getting scared. Departments are being trimmed. Hiring is stopped. Losing of a job, being rejected. Being rejected. Not being able to pay our EMIs and the bills. Embarrassing ourselves in the public. That's our biggest fear. Log kya kahenge? Upsetting our loved ones. Phupha ji naraz ho jayenge. Getting a disease or million other things. So as a result, we spend a lot of time worrying about things that more often than not do not happen. Do I agree? Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me? Hire, I'm not contesting that, Zaid, that hire and fire rule nahi hota. Bilkul hota hai. Definitely it is there. But उस hire and fire में आप आ जाएंगे, ये तो अभी नहीं हुआ है ना. So we are worrying about imaginary troubles. Then another thing, another essential skill for survival of an early human being was to be able to belong to a group. देखिए, ह्यूमन बींग्स के पास ना तो मोटी चमड़ी है, ना नाखून है, neither nails nor claws nor strength. All we have is a brain. That was the only thing which nature gave us, and the unity of the people around us. So we needed to be in a group to be able to safeguard ourselves. Hence, being the part of a group is important, significant for us. So what we do? The fear of being rejected from the group is the biggest fear. Now, this group can be your community, can be your family, can be your friend circle, not just the WhatsApp group, your social group, your social circle. You want to be accepted in the circle. And that is your biggest fear, that if I do something which the group, which the circle, which the social circle doesn't accept, where will I go if they reject me? Sochiye. It is this fear that drives us to abide and stay with the prejudices that has been handed over to us from generations to generations. I have a family friend. They are good people, well settled, and their son wanted to pursue something which was not in with their expectation. And they prevented the son from moving towards his own profession of choice because they considered that profession to be lower than their standards. And the only argument they put forth is, what will people say? समाज में हमारी इज्जत मिट्टी में मिल जाएगी. So our modern day minds are continually warning us of rejection and comparing us against the rest of the society. No wonder we spend so much energy worrying whether people will like us. No wonder We are always looking for ways to improve ourselves or putting ourselves down because we don't measure up. और अभी हमारे साथ challenge क्या है that 1 million years before we had a small group, 50, 60 members. Today our group is infinite. You have immediate group, social group, internet groups. You are members of different WhatsApp groups. You are members of different Facebook groups, and you have to create a good image out there. So you post your achievements. You cook a dish, you post it on 10 different social media platforms, and if there are no likes coming in, you get worried. Social validation, we call it. You see? And thanks to the evolution, the mind has, evolved. They are so sophisticated now that they can dream up a fantasy of the person that we'd like to be, and then compare our real self to that impossible standards. What chance do we have? We always end up feeling not good enough, isn't it? If I compare myself with a model, I'll always be riddled with inferiority complex because I don't look as good, I don't look as fit, I don't stand a chance. It makes me miserable. So our modern mind continually looks for more money, more status, more job satisfaction, everything for the sake of validation. So evolution has shaped our mind so that we are almost inevitably destined to suffer psychologically, to compare, evaluate, and criticize ourselves. Focus on what we are lacking, to be dissatisfied with what we have, and to imagine all kinds of frightening scenarios. Most of it will never happen. No wonder it is so very difficult to be happy. Do I make sense? Friends, are you awake or have you gone to sleep? Do I make sense? Anybody at this point of time would like to contribute, would like to share something? Yeah. Having said this, yeah, anybody would like to share? There are any thoughts you would like to contribute? There's anything that you would like to, come up with? Any inputs from your side? If you ask, if you think deeper, what exactly is happiness? The word happiness has got two very different meanings. Usually, it refers to a feeling, a sense of pleasure, gladness, or gratification. We all enjoy happy feelings, so it's no surprise that we chase them. However, like all our other feelings, feelings of happiness do not last. No matter how hard we try to hold on to them, they slip away every time. ऐसे हाथ में से मुट्ठी में से रेत फिसल जाती है, ऐसे ही happiness. And as we shall see, a life spent in pursuit of those feelings is on the whole unsatisfied. As a matter of fact, the harder we pursue pleasurable feelings, the more we are likely to suffer from anxiety and depression. Do you agree with this statement? Another meaning of happiness is thank you, Vikas. Thank you so much. The other meaning of happiness is a rich, full, and meaningful life. When we take action on the things that truly matter deep in our hearts, when we move in directions that we consider valuable and worthy, when we clarify what we stand for in life and act accordingly, then our lives become rich and full and meaningful. And we experience a powerful sense of vitality. This is not some fleeting feeling, it's a profound sense of life well lived. And although such a life will undoubtedly give us many pleasurable feelings, it will also give us uncomfortable ones, such as sadness, fear, and anger. But this is only to be expected. If we want to live a full life, we need to feel the full range of human emotions, which goes from anxiety, depression, sadness, fear to happiness. If you want to wear colorful clothes, you need to wear all the colors. If we want to have a fulfilling meal, you need to taste all the tastes, bitter, sour, salty, sweet, to make a wholesome meal. Isn't it? Unfortunately, when we focus narrowly on just one aspect, that is where the problem comes. I have another question from you. Do we prevent ourselves from being happy? What would you say? Dr. Atmaram says yes. Swamadeep says no. Jiten Singh says myself. Could you please elaborate more? Gupta sir?
Yes, sir, sure.
Haan ji sir.
Actually, what is my feeling that we are the one who are preventing ourselves from being happy.
Mhm.
This is the answer of your previous question also.
Okay.
So, because whatever we need to be happy, almost that are very cheap and freely available.
Hmm.
But nowadays, what is the trend? We are always seeing the upper side,
Hmm.
that he is better. We are comparing.
Hmm.
So whenever we are comparing and always we are thinking for higher side,
Hmm.
so it makes us unhappy. So
Okay.
when we are comparing, so that actually we are there is something called contentment, means whatever we have to be happy with that. So
Yes.
this is the, I think, a key for being the happy all the time. So and of course we should see the upper side also, but not for being unhappy. So this we are the one only we are stopping ourselves to being unhappy. Like, many quotes are there. They are telling that like fresh air, water, sunlight, these all things are freely available, but we don't have, we don't giving time to take it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was a very interesting perspective. Anybody else would like to share? When we become ultra extrovert, preventing doing our self introspection. Okay, Zaid. Thank you. So, friends, I'd like to talk about something known as happiness traps. You know what are traps? ट्रैप का मतलब होता है जाल. जाल में हम क्या करते हैं? जाल में हम फंसाते हैं. You see? We trap people in nets. मछली को फंसाते हैं जाल में, जानवरों को फंसाते हैं जाल में, कभी कभी इंसानों को फंसा देते हैं जाल में, है कि नहीं? So I'd like to talk about two kinds of traps which trap happiness. You know, जिनके जाल में हम फंस जाते हैं, जिसकी वजह से हम हैप्पीनेस महसूस नहीं कर पाते. One is the fairy tales. Fairy tales, you understand? परी कथाएं. और परी कथाएं क्या होती हैं? परी कथाओं की जो एंडिंग होती है वो कैसी होती है? हाउ डू फेरी टेल्स एंड? The last line of every fairy tale says, and they lived happily ever after. Isn't it? That is the theme of fairy tales. That is the theme of movies. That is the theme of TV serials. Happy ending. We like that. And they have all the stories, all the fairy tales. They have the same feel good ending where the good triumphs over evil, where love conquers all, and the hero defeats the bad guy. Isn't it? And this holds true for all popular novels, and television programs, and sagas, and all that. We love happy ending because society tells us that is how life should be. All joy and fun, all peace and contentment, living happily ever after. But is that realistic? Does it fit with your experience of life? आपके अनुभव में ये ऐसा होता है? Everything is hunky dory, everything is blah blah blah, everything is rosy. आपके साथ ऐसा होता है कि आप life is all about physical faculties. Okay, thank you. Has it ever happened with you that जैसे आप टीवी के एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स में देखते हैं, थके हारे शाम को घर गए, धर्मपत्नी ने दरवाजा खोला, घर महक रहा है, हर चीज साफ सुथरा सब है, बढ़िया सा कप में आपको कॉर्नर में चाय मिल गया, मनपसंद खाना मिल गया, all that stuff. Does it happen? Oh yes, Sudhakar Reddy, there's going to be a feedback link for the session. I'll also give you some, don't worry. अभी से feedback के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. Is it so boring? Sudhakar. So these fairy tales that we keep telling us, actually, there are a lot of myths, भ्रांतियां हैं happiness के बारे में. पहली भ्रांति, पहला myth, happiness is a natural state for all beings. Our culture insists that that humans are naturally happy. But if you go by the statistics, even of the country which are well advanced, you will find that the number of suicide, number of cases of depression is too much. Many people walk around with the belief that everyone else is happy except for them. And this belief creates even more unhappiness. When you look at people around, you might think that they are happy, but you have no idea what kind of battles they are fighting at a personal level. Second myth, if you are not happy, you are defective. अगर आप खुश नहीं हैं, तो आप defective हैं. कुछ गड़बड़ है आपके साथ. Society assumes that the mental suffering is abnormal. It is seen as a weakness or an illness, a product of mind that is somehow faulty or defective. This means that when we experience painful thoughts and feelings, we often criticize ourselves for being weak or stupid. People enter into business alignment. Partnership करते हैं, partner धोखा दे जाता है. दोस्त तो भरोसा करते हैं, दोस्त धोखा दे जाता है. या शादी बहन की या बेटी की करते हैं, कहीं परिवार अच्छा नहीं निकल जाता. And what do we tell ourselves? That we are stupid, we were fools, we were taken for a ride. So when we inevitably experience painful thoughts and feelings, we criticize ourselves for being stupid. Understand, you are not defective. The mind is just doing its job. It is telling you that there is something wrong with you. That is not the case. You could never have calculated beforehand. Stop blaming yourself. And आगे मैं बताऊंगा कि how this idea of explaining has an impact. The third myth is, to create a better life, we must get rid of negative feelings. The things that we generally value most in life bring with them a whole range of feelings, both pleasant and unpleasant. So negative feelings are a part of the game. You getting that? And most important is the fourth myth, we should be able to control what we think and feel. This illusion of control. we have less control over our thoughts and feelings. हमारा विचारों पे हमारा नियंत्रण नहीं होता. तो हमसे कहा जाता है फिक्र मत करो, नेगेटिव मत सोचो. It is not in our hands. It is not. At least उतना नहीं जितना समझा जाता है. Isn't it? Do I make sense? And all these contribute to the happiness traps. Second is a vicious circle. Vicious circle क्या होता है? मैं एग्जांपल देता हूँ. कई बार ऐसा हुआ होगा आप लोगों के साथ कि हम सबके साथ ऐसा होता है. हल्की सी स्किन पे खुजली हुई, हमने हल्का सा स्क्रैच करा, खुजली समाप्त हो गई. But those of us who have, you know, had allergy or eczema, what happens is when you scratch, there is something known as histamine which gets secreted and which creates even more itching. तो वो कहते हैं ना कि मर्ज बढ़ता ही गया, जू जू दवा की, वो वाली चीज है. Solution becomes a problem. ये कैसे होगा? ये कैसे play out होता है? Let's say there is someone known as Jayesh. Jayesh fears rejection. उसको लगता है सोसाइटी से कोई उसे रिजेक्ट ना कर दे. He has this desire to be accepted. तो उसका ये डर इतना ज्यादा है कि वो सोशल सिचुएशंस में एंग्शियस फील करता है. So what he does, he doesn't want to experience those anxiety feelings, so he avoids socializing whenever possible. He doesn't accept invitation to parties, he doesn't pursue friendship, he lives alone, stays at home. This means that on the rare occasions when he does socialize, he's even more anxious than usual. तो मेरा देखिए कि जो उसका डर है वो और ज्यादा बढ़ जाता है. Another example, और ये imaginary names हैं, इनका यकीनन के लोगों से कोई ताल्लुक नहीं. I'm just using an example. Let's say there is someone known as Divya who's overweight. So when she's upset about her weight, when she's upset, she eats a chocolate because chocolate makes her feel happy. And she eats a lot of chocolate to make her happy, to make her feel happy more. But the effect is that by eating more chocolates, her diet plan goes off the track and she ends up adding more calories. होता है? There are cases like this around us. So these are all examples of trying to get rid of, avoid, or escape from unpleasant feeling. We call this control strategies because they attempt to directly control how you feel. Now, control methods become problematic when you use them excessively. Moderately, to okay hai, they give you result. But when it falls for an excessive use, that is where it becomes problem. You use them in situations where they don't work, where they cannot work. And it stops you from doing things which you truly value. इसलिए control strategies, they don't work. What do you cherish most in life? Health, work, family, friends? It is no surprise that life is richer and more fulfilling when we actively invest our time and energy in things that matter most or they are more meaningful to us. But our attempts to avoid unpleasant feelings get in the way of doing what we truly value. We want to help people, that is an inherent nature. But the fear of being robbed, the fear of being, taken for a ride, the fear of somebody making a fool of us prevents us from reaching out to people. लोगों की मदद हम इसलिए नहीं करते, हमें करना अच्छा लगता है, करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन धोखा मिलेगा इसलिए हम रीच आउट नहीं करते, and we close ourselves. Isn't it? So the happiness trap is built through ineffective control strategies. In order to feel happy, we try hard to control what we are feeling, but these control strategies have significant costs. They take up a lot of time and energy, are usually ineffective. We feel silly, we feel weak minded because it keeps coming back. Many strategies, they decrease unpleasant feelings in the short term, which they actually lower our quality of life over the long term. वो जो सोनम मैडम कह रही थी अर्लियर, trying to change the people around, trying to change the circumstances. It doesn't work. This is why it doesn't work. Because we bear the brunt. Are you with me on this, friends? Yeah. There is another thought that I'd like to share with you. Happiness in adversity, the power of explanatory styles. Explanatory style क्या होते हैं? It is the manner in which you habitually explain to yourself why events happen. जो हमारे जीवन में जो सराउंडिंग्स में जो चीजें हो रही हैं, हम कैसे उन्हें इंटरप्रेट करके खुद को समझाते हैं, कैसे बताते हैं. और ये 3 चीजें आती हैं इसमें. 3 स्टाइल्स ऑफ एक्सप्लेनेशन है. परवेसिवनेस, 3 फीचर्स होते हैं: परवेसिवनेस, परमानेंस एंड पर्सनलाइजेशन. परवेसिवनेस का मतलब होता है कि जीवन का एक हिस्सा, एक सिचुएशन अगर हमारी गड़बड़ है तो ऐसा लगता है जैसे सारा जीवन ऑफ द ट्रैक चला गया. Pervasiveness is about space. Our life has got multiple facets. There is a job, there is a family, there are children, there are relatives, there are friends, there is also you. So if your job, God forbid, is not going good, you feel that your entire life is chopped. Your entire life is off the track. That is not the case. That is not the case. You have some issue in the family, you think your entire life is on the docks. That is not the case. So what you are trying to do, you are explaining as though one aspect of your life has impacted all the other aspects of your life. You will never be happy. That is what pervasiveness is all about. Permanence is that something which has come, it has come to stay, it will stay permanently. There is no ending to it. Misfortune, adversity, it has come to stay, there is no coming out. When we tell this to ourselves, we can never be happy. The third aspect is personalization. Why me? What did I do to deserve this? Oh God, why me at all? We personalize things. We use this explanatory style to tell ourselves that we are being singled out for misfortune. हमें ही ईश्वर की नाराजगी हमारे ऊपर जो है बताई गई है. जैद कहते हैं ना, खुदा का कहर नाजिल हुआ है हम पर. This act of punishment, it is there everywhere. This is how we explain ourselves. And this is an important factor impacting happiness. Yes or no? Why this old man is happy? Any ideas? Why is this old man happy? और ये हैप्पी इसलिए है क्योंकि इन्हें हैप्पीनेस फार्मूला मिल गया है. और ये हैप्पीनेस फार्मूला मैं आपके साथ शेयर करना चाहता हूं. H equals to S plus C plus V. H is your enduring level of happiness. Enduring level का मतलब ये हुआ कि ये वो momentary happiness नहीं है. Momentary happiness नहीं है. It is something which is a consistent level. Your consistent level of happiness is equals to your set range, which we spoke about. There is a happiness range, also impacted by the circumstances of your life. And the third factor is V, factors under voluntary control, factors which you can control. Now, if you look at it, the first component, S, is genetically determined. We spoke about that earlier. इसमें हम और आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते. हमारा जो सेट रेंज है हैप्पीनेस का वो हमारे पेरेंट्स से, हमारे जीन्स में हमें मिला है. और ये रिसर्चेस हैं इसलिए कह रहा हूं. तो इसमें ज्यादा कुछ कंट्रोल नहीं हो सकता. Second factor is C, the circumstances. Can you have control over the circumstances, people around you? There is also a limitation there, not much. What comes under V? Factors under our voluntary control. That is where the domain of how we explain ourselves, the situations comes in. Our explanatory styles. the way our mind interprets the situation around us. तो अगर आप देखें हमारे कंट्रोल में सिर्फ वो कंपोनेंट है जो वी के अंदर आता है, इसके अंदर बहुत सारी चीजें हैं और ये एक मॉडल है परमा. आई विश आई हैड मोर टाइम. दिस इज द मॉडल ऑफ हैप्पीनेस I wanted to discuss, but we are running short of time, so I'll just skip it here. 5 components which add meaningfulness in your life, which add well-being to your life. Having said this, how do we reclaim the inner state of happiness? With this slide, I would like, all this time we have been discussing about what the Western philosophers have studied mind in a scientific manner, as I had said earlier. With this slide, we enter the realm of intuition. Let us talk about what spiritual guides, what religious leaders have spoken about. And they all have spoken about one thing. It says, if you took the example of Holy Gita, it talks about happiness of 3 varieties: the sattvic happiness, the rajasic happiness, and the tamasic happiness. The sattvic happiness is a happiness which acts like a poison first, but like Amrita in the end, it is born of the light of one's own self. It's called Atma Buddhi. Atma Buddhi Prasadam, arising from the tranquility, purity, and brightness of the union of Buddhi with the Atma. Those who pursue it will find the joy of immortality. Second would be the Rajasic happiness, the happiness arising from the contact of senses with the objects, which in the beginning is like Amrita or Amrit, but which changes into that which is like poison later on. So something which gives you happiness initially, but then it changes into poison. Rajasic happiness. And for something called tamasic, it is the result of the delusive of self. The self is not connected. It is arising from sleep, indolence, and heedlessness. You see? Having said this, where does it all boil down to? It all comes down to learning to regulate the mind, learning to be calm. Because if you look at it, all this time we have been talking about mind creating the tricks, creating the trauma, creating the turbulence. And once the mind is calm, we're always happy. Now, how do we calm the mind? What is that mental practice that we do which can calm the mind? And researches over mind in recent times have universally come out with this, that consistent meditation practice is the key. Only through meditation can you achieve the regulation of mind, which can lead you to a state of constant bliss, constant balance. It is not about control, it is about regulation of mind. And dear friends, when you talk about meditation, science have demonstrated that meditation shrinks a portion of your brain called the amygdala, which is the center for the emotion of fear, which is where all the insecurities that you experience come forth. Through meditation, the hormonal axis is restored. So you stop experiencing stress and anxiety and that fearfulness. So one of the centers for meditation, which offers a unique practice, which is meditation with pranahuti, is the center which I'm talking about, Kahana Shantivanam, Hyderabad. Please have a look at the link which I have shared with you. Go on the website heartfulness.org. You will find many practices, many initiatives free of cost, which they offer to all humanity. I would implore you to go for that. Thank you so very much. It is all from my side. If there are any questions, I would love to have them. And I would also like to share personal feedback form to you all. Thank you so much for being a lovely audience. I hope you liked it as much as I did.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for your time and for interacting with the participants. And making this session very interactive. So thank you. And I would like to request the participants, if you have any question, you may ask directly or in the chat window also.
Yes, please feel free to field questions. I'd love to answer them as much as I can. Thank you so much for being a lovely audience. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. One request I will have, dear friends, I have shared a link in the chat box. It is a feedback form for my personal growth. So I'll request you to please fill it up. It won't take much of your time. And any questions, any comments, any insights from your side, I would welcome it. Now would be a good time. Over to you all.
Yes, Sudhakar Reddy, you want to ask some question? You may ask. You may unmute and ask. So everybody is appreciating you, sir, your session. Everybody is writing thank you, nice session, really a nice talk. And of course, this is very important session. Everyone is in search of happiness.
Thank you so much. How do we impart a meaningful change when there is a lot of barriers, sir? Zaid, जैसे पानी होता है ना, पानी के साथ क्या है, consistent होता है. It keeps working. So when you keep working with yourself, you ultimately effect a change. A meaningful change will come from your confirmational belief in yourself through consistent efforts. Okay, I hope I'm able to answer this question to you.
Yes.
Thank you, Zaid. Any other questions, dear friends?
So please feel free to ask the question if you have.
Yeah. In Hindi, in English, whatever. And if you can just switch on your videos, we can have a screenshot which can serve as a group photograph. Dr. Atmaramji, if
Yes,
you permit
sure,
that.
sure.
If you
So
permit
I
that.
request the participants to switch on your video for a moment. So this will be a memory also with such a nice speaker, and we all. So I request to switch on your video if possible.
Wonderful. Stay in touch, dear friends.
Yes.
Be happy to connect with you on LinkedIn if you are there on LinkedIn.
Yes, I can able to see some faces.
Great.
So anyway, thank you, sir,
Thank you.
for accepting our request. Again, I am thankful to you to accept our request to deliver the lecture in this FDP. And many faculty and the students have joined from all across the country. Approximately more than 50 colleges have participated in this, and we have 200 participants in this program. And after this session, there will be all technical sessions in this program. So here is the thing that whatever we are all doing, that is for the happiness, and this is the most important topic covered by you, sir. So
Thank you.
yes, so Any question, if you have still, you can ask.
I'd just like to share a thought with you before we, by the time you are thinking of a question. You see, whatever little I have understood, happiness is all about balance. Balance, santulan. When we are balanced in our thoughts, our actions, our behaviors, when there is total balance, if you recall, we spoke about a harmony in thought, actions, and so on and so forth. How do we achieve that balance? The reason why we are in balance is because this faculty called mind, which is extremely powerful, which is extremely, fertile, creative, we have not been able to contain it. The more you fight with it, the more you voluntarily try to subdue it, it will fight back. Until the time it keeps fighting back, there won't be any harmony. It's our biggest ally, but we treat it as an enemy till the time we keep fighting it. So the trick is in making this enemy of ours our friend, our ally, using its power to construct ourselves. And meditation is nothing except making your mind your friend. I wish we had more time. I could have taken you through the heartfulness system of practice. I'd like to devote a minute or two to this. We have very simple, practical oriented practices which we are offered. This organization of which I am a part since October 91, I've been practicing those heartfulness meditation. These are practices which are used for people like me and you. Those who, who have a normal life, working life like all of us. And it is like you go to a gym and work on your muscles. Meditation regulates your mind. You work up your mental muscles. So when the mind is in a focus, in a balanced state, it achieves a state of focus. And this focus is just like a laser. Whatever action you put it to, direct to, it achieves that. It was a pleasure being with you, dear friends. I would invite you to witness every Sunday. We have meditation sessions which are free of charge. It's an organization which is devoted towards the upliftment of humanity. So I invite you to try this out, experience for yourself, and see the results. If there is any question,
I think no more question. Everyone is appreciating your talk, sir. So with this, we can.
I hope they have filled up the. I hope they have filled up the feedback form.
So it is requested to fill the feedback form shared by the sir. So thank you everyone for joining us in this first session of this FDP. So thank you so much, sir, for being with us and for delivering such a nice talk. We will further continue this kind of talk with your organization and with heartfulness also in our near FDP and any conferences we are organizing. Thank you so much, sir.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So our next session will be at 3 p.m. So that will be the first technical session. The Professor G.V. Kumbar of IIT Roorkee will join us. So thank you everyone for this joining with us. So that's all for this first session. Thank you everyone.
Hello.
Now we can stop this session. So, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Hello.
Yes, someone is there.
Sir, I'm asking.
Shall I end the meeting?
Atmaram sir से बात करना sir.
Okay, you can call me by phone. Okay.
Sir, actually you sent a feedback link on sir.